Hello.
Hello, everyone. Now then, did you put your clocks forward?
Well, I certainly hope so. It's a bit late for doing it now, isn't it?
Well, I've got a confession to make. Not this year, but one year we completely forgot. Completely forgot. I don't know what was happening, but we set off to go to, in those days, IKEA. Turned up at IKEA and thought, this is great, there's nobody else here. We've got the whole store to ourselves. And we must have sat in the car park for about half an hour thinking, when are they going to open this shop? Yeah, we hadn't put the clocks forward or back or whichever one it was.
I know, it was on a Sunday, wasn't it?
We've remembered this time though.
Oh, we have,
and
yeah.
We're here on time.
We have. Shall we go over to this one here?
Yeah.
So on the subject of clocks, hello everybody. On the subject of clocks, I got some little factoids I want to share to you about clocks. Because we were thinking about this. You know, you've got obviously the clock thing and clocks going all over the place and all the rest of it, TikTok, etc. And you know, there's always been a fuss about the clocks going backwards and forwards in the spring and all the rest of it.
I can never remember which one it is.
Spring forward, fall back.
Oh, right.
But you have to do the American for autumn, don't you?
Fall back, yeah.
Not autumn back.
Some people say leap forward, don't they?
Do they?
I think so. That's why I get confused.
Okay. Anyway, spring forward. But I didn't realise this. As you know, as you do when you're sort of, I don't know, sort of diddling around on the internet, what have you.
As you do.
Apparently, in ancient civilizations, they tended to divide the daylight into 12 segments, 12 hours, regardless of how long the day was. So, for example, the Romans had water clocks, and they used to adjust them for different times of the year. So, the third hour from sunrise in the winter time started at 9 and only lasted 44 minutes. But in the summertime, that hour lasted 75 minutes.
Right.
So they just divided whatever daylight was available, they divided it 12 times.
Yeah.
Which is sort of...
So you could eat more grapes in the summer?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly, you know, they're like...
Grape.
You know what these Romans are like. Anyway, the other thing was, I didn't realise that British summertime was first introduced in the First World War. But most countries discontinued the practice after the war. Then it was more or less cancelled in the 1950s, and then it was reintroduced in isolated cases till the 1960s, when the energy crisis of the late 60s and early 70s prompted policymakers to reintroduce summertime across the continent. It's remained in place in most countries since.
To be honest with you, I hate all the fiddling around with the clocks because it throws me out for days.
Yeah. Well, if you're like me, I spend all of the Monday after the clocks have gone back saying it's really 8 o'clock when it's 9 o'clock, and it's really 10 o'clock when it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It annoys you greatly, doesn't
Your
it?
tummy tells you what time it is, doesn't it?
Yeah. I want my lunch at 11 o'clock, and I want my dinner at my evening meal at 5 o'clock or something like that.
Oh,
anyway, there we go.
To everyone.
So
hi, Sandy. Sandy remembers coming into church halfway through the service looking very bemused.
You started early, everybody. No, Iris doesn't like fiddling with the clocks either. No, none of us do we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, but you know, I read somewhere, by the way, that apparently the excuse often given for clock fiddling, is because of farmers, you know, getting out to do work. But apparently, the cows take no notice of the clocks. They need to be milked at the same times of the same, you know, position in the day, regardless of whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Around here, they always come for a drink at 4.
They do, yeah. No, yes, that's
Whereas
right.
We're having tea at 3.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, Anita.
Hi,
Good to see you there. Yeah, Iris. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, COVIDified today.
Oh,
dear.
Sandy, I am sorry.
Oh, that's bad. Oh. And yes, Maureen, Maureen's referring to that picture with the red glasses on, which you'll see again later on.
Yes.
Yeah. That
right
was
then.
Back in the day, wasn't it? Our Maureen's car clock is correct. We never alter it.
Yeah. There's a fantastic TikTok. I wish I'd have found it. Of a guy who...
it would be a TikTok, wouldn't it?
I remember
Clocks.
looking at it last year. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at it last year. This guy was going crazy because he didn't know how to change the clock on his car.
That's right.
Who does?
He wanted to take a hammer to it, didn't he?
The other one is the oven. Haven't got a clue how to do that.
Oh.
Or the central heating.
Well, I figured it out. I've become an expert on oven. You know, most
Unless it's
electric
one
ovens,
like this, I'm rubbish.
but electric ovens, it seems to be the little hand. You push the little hand in, and while the little hand is pushed in, you push the plus and the minus. That's what I did in your mum's clock. I didn't know whether I was setting it to come on in the middle of the night or what, but we left her to it, didn't we? She's not mentioned it since, so
No,
probably it was all right. Anyway, yes, okay, right. So we do a song then.
Shall we sing?
No.
Hi, Howard and Ross.
Right. So song number 1 is.
What?
Howard says it's snowing.
No.
Yeah, but where are you, Howard? Are you in Trondheim, or are you in Kirby Moorside?
He's probably out and about somewhere because they generally are out and about. Anyway, maybe it'll work its way down here. Who knows?
It might do. Well, it probably will in that case.
We're going to sing a song
We
now
are. Now
from
then, here we go.
Spring is Here. Get that?
With a song in my heart.
Spring is Here.
Yeah, spring is here. Yeah.
It's number 18 in the book.
Spring was here last week. Actually, no, that wasn't spring last week. It was midsummer, wasn't it, last week?
Normal service has been
18
resumed.
degrees. Now then, okay. So, just a minute. I'm well behind with buttons here, Ruth. Sorry about that.
Keep up.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not keeping up at all today. Why is that? I don't know. Anyway, so we'll do that, and we'll do that, and we'll do that. Right, are you ready?
Are we ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Go
Sing
for
up,
it.
everybody.
Go for it. Okay.
Shall we start again?
Yes, let's start again. Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks.
With a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face, just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your grace. When the music swells, I'm touching your hand. It tells me you're standing near, and at the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to be? But I always knew I would live life through with a song in my heart for you. With a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face, just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your grace. But I always knew I would live life through with a song in my heart for you. Aha.
That is such a sweet little song.
We had a false start on that one.
We did.
False start on that
We've
one.
only had about two, the whole 203 sessions we've done, so it would have to be on the last one, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it would. It would.
That was my fault.
Yeah, no, it's all right. No, I think it might have been mine. Anyway, Howard says we wish we were at home today doing jobs, so it's snowing in
Kirby
Kirby
Moorside. Oh, hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. I see you there. Hope Eric's there with you.
Yeah. Now then, I like that song because it reminds me of that radio programme.
Oh, yes. Now then, that one, actually was the theme tune to this programme. Do you remember this one? Family Favourites.
I do. Do you know why I remember it?
Go on, why?
Wasn't it on a Sunday?
It was.
Just at the time when you're making Sunday lunch, or rather, my dad would be making Sunday lunch, and I'll tell you why, because my mum used to go and do night shift at the weekend in the hospital.
Yeah.
So we'd pick her up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she'd go to bed. She'd put the meat in, go to bed for a couple of hours, leaving my dad to make Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. So it was always a fraught time because she'd wake up in time to come down and make the gravy because every time the gravy was always lumpy. And I'd be listening to this. That brings back very clear memories of lumpy gravy on a Sunday morning. And also
funny,
the words in there. There's a line there that goes, "Heaven opens its portals to me."
Oh, yeah.
But I want to sing, "Heaven opens its lugholes to me."
Do you?
I don't know why.
Well, heaven opens its lug holes to me. No, it doesn't quite scan, Ruth. Well, it does actually.
It brings
Scans
a smile
very
to
well.
my face anyway. Oh dear.
Ah, right. Okay.
Oh, yes,
So
it is
anyway,
a
so
sway.
we yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying Swain the daffodil. Sorry about the daffodil picture, by the way. I just realised when I watched that through this morning because I got hold of that little bit of film, and it was obviously in America. It's American daffodils. That
Oh,
was
are they?
because there was a big house in the picture with
Yeah.
the stars and stripes on it, which I didn't notice. I thought it was in the Netherlands. You see. I picked it because it looked like a Dutch house to me.
Oh, right.
But it turned out, anyway, it might have been a Dutch house flying an American flag in the garden. You never
It
know.
might have been.
You never know, do you?
At least it wasn't the skull and crossbones.
Possibly. Well, it would have been good if it had been the skull and cross, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Pirate daffodils. Anyway, okay, so shall we have a bit of chat then?
Yeah.
Because we had a bit of chat last week, didn't we, with those children talking
It's
to...
Children Talking, it's called, isn't
Children
it?
Talking.
And who's the guy they're talking
Harold
to?
Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, this time they're talking about what they think about weddings. I think you find it quite illuminating.
You're all dressed up for a wedding.
Yes. Yes.
What are you all?
I'm dressed as a bridesmaid.
Have you ever really been a bridesmaid?
Yes.
What was that like? What happened?
Well, in church I had to wait for a bit with my mummy, and I had a basket full of flowers and I had a hat on. You have artificial flowers, do you, Claire? Well, any kind, really. I will really have artificial.
What about you? Have you ever been to a wedding as a page or an attendant?
Well, I was invited to be a page, but I wasn't very happy with the idea.
Why not?
Well, because when we went to the practice in the church, the clothes, well, they were sitting like a girl, like hipsters today. They were made out of silk, red silk. There was a white shirt and a red dicky bow. You know, I don't like the idea of that. I just said that I'd look a sissy with those clothes on, and they, you know, just gave me a look.
What kind of a look?
As if to say, well, you were all right, but not spot on.
Does this mean then that you haven't been to a wedding?
Oh yes, I went to the same wedding, and I was sat on the back row. I'd rather be on the back row than the front with the pages.
Well, when people want to get married, they can either get married in a church or a register office.
What's a register office?
Well, it's somewhere where you can get married without letting people know, and it's quicker because you don't have to have confetti all over you, and it's quicker, really.
But why should someone want to be married quickly without anyone else knowing?
Well, sometimes they want to get away from home, and they want to get married, you know, quietly and without being disturbed.
What age will you get married at, do you think?
18.
Why?
Well, my brother and sister are always bossing me about and having fights, and I'm always left out.
Well, I like going to weddings. You get lots of food, and you have chicken. I got chicken, cabbage, apple sauce, cabbage, and we had jelly and tarts for fruit.
We had jelly and tart and trifle, apple pie, cream tart, and meat pie liver, and steak and kidney pie, and meat pie.
All at a wedding?
Yeah.
What was the best part about it?
Or the reception, especially the cake, where there was some silver threepenny bits in, and I got 2, and I also got a lucky horseshoe.
What happened after the wedding? What did you do then?
I went out and I went in the pub to have a drink of orange.
You what?
I went to the pub to have a drink of orange, and I went upstairs to have my tea with Mummy. Nicky passed in to go to the toilet.
What are you dressed as?
A bridesmaid.
A what?
A bridesmaid.
A broadmaid? What's that? Have you ever been a bridesmaid yourself? Would you like to be? Why? Why would you like to be
I'm
one?
going to marry you.
What?
Marry you.
To marry me?
Oh, that really had me chortling
Oh, yeah.
away, that one. Because it's all about the food, isn't it?
Yeah. Except as Iris says,
The
that
cabbage.
the curly like the quick weddings.
Oh, yes.
You don't want to be disturbed.
They need to be quiet.
I love that boy. The amazing thing was this is obviously the very early 60s, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
that lad's what he liked was the cabbage, the chicken and the cabbage.
And the more cabbage.
And the more cabbage. And that lad who had pie, meat pie, steak and kidney pie, and further pie.
Oh, it was just adorable. I love it. Oh,
I'm speaking, by the way, as a man who likes pies. I like pies.
you do. You do like
Might as well call
pies.
I'm called Pie Man in our house, aren't I? Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
lovely.
And by the way, Karen, we're sorry that Eric has left home now.
Oh,
But anyway,
yeah.
hopefully you will see him. He'll come to visit, at least.
They are engaging, really.
Yeah, and they're lovely, aren't they, those
Yeah,
kids?
and he's so patient with them, isn't
Yeah.
he? I mean, it's really nice. He's not patronising them at
No,
all.
that was why it worked, wasn't it? Because he talked to them as if they were, well, so why do you think, why would you need
As
to
if
be...
they were human. You mean.
Yeah. Why would you need to be married quickly? Well, you don't want to be disturbed.
It was adorable.
dear.
Oh, now, speaking of which, speaking of the early days, it's a while ago, I noticed this in the paper the other day. So, abolished 65 years ago, just a couple of weeks ago, was the break in the programming between 6 and 7 every night, because there was a government policy known as the toddler's truce. Now, so if you're under 70, you won't remember that.
I
but-
just saw a picture just to remind us of what watching television
Yeah.
was like in those days. That was it. It's not a very good picture, but they're all huddled round the telly,
So
watching it together.
between 6 and 7, there would be no telly at all, because that was the time when parents put their kids to
So
bed.
like an intermission.
Yeah, it was called a TV-free hour, allowing, as Time magazine said, for parents to wring out their moppets and put them to bed. So that was so when the telly stopped, that was it. Bath time, up you go to bed, and there was nothing on telly at all. And don't forget, these are the days when we only had 8 hours of broadcasting was permitted on Saturdays, and 7 3/4 on Sundays. And on Sundays, no children's programme were permitted between 2 and 4, lest it prevent the kids from studying the Bible.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I do remember
How
watching.
times
I do remember watching the Wooden Tops, though.
How times have
Arf.
changed, eh?
They have, haven't they?
Mind you, I remember the Wooden Tops, and there was only Mother's Hour, wasn't there?
Oh, I remember Watch with
During the
Mother.
day.
Was it 12:45
Yeah,
or
sorry,
something?
Watch with Mother, not
You watched
Mother's Hour.
and that was only 15 minutes, wasn't it, before the 1 o'clock news? I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So how times
So
have
there you
changed.
go.
Mhm.
Between 6 and 7. No
Anyway,
telly whatsoever.
Can I just point out that our roving weather reporters,
Yes.
now including Karen, they've got snow in Helmsley now.
Oh my word.
Snow in Helmsley.
Do you know, we had our tea outside last week. We actually sat outside until about 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
eating our
Last
tea.
week, didn't we? In the sunshine.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't quite sunny at 8 o'clock, was it? You know what I mean? But anyway, this is not unusual, everyone. I don't want anyone to panic there about snow at this time of year, because there have been times, have there not, when it snowed on Easter weekend.
Oh, yes.
I can remember going away on a Good Friday, and there was about 2 inches of snow on the ground. You think you plan a weekend away at Easter?
Well,
and
I
you think,
notice you've got your
I've got my
Christmas
I've got
jumper
the
out
Christmas
again.
jumper on again. Yeah, I was down to T-shirt last week. Obviously premature, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm not even. Shall I get my buttons ready then?
Get your
That's what-
buttons ready,
I
because we're
should
going to do
shouldn't I?
another song now.
We have to do another song. So, what song should we do then, Ruth?
So this is a song that we've never ever done before, but we thought we'd give it a go.
Possibly for good reason. But anyway, we're trying it. We're going to try it this time. So this one is called "You've Got a Friend."
Yeah.
I'm going to put the words up. Excuse me. So you don't need to know the words. You can be able to follow the words there. I've got some pictures to go with that as well.
Okay.
Right. So we should we
I'm
go with it
ready.
then? Okay. Just a minute. I don't want to. I'm careful. I'll go back to
Don't
camera
knock
one.
my little friend
I mustn't.
over.
I've got to be careful. I don't
Don't give
decapitate the puffin. If I start rhythmically moving with the
The puffins
guitar.
are multiplying round here.
They are, aren't they? right, okay.
Are we
Are you
ready?
ready?
Yeah.
Right, okay. When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend, and ain't it good to know that you got a friend? When people can be so cold, they'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend. You got a friend. You got a friend. And that was some friends from various musical memories, things over the years, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Where's my order of service gone?
Right.
There it is. So, you've got a factoid about that.
I have. Oh, hang on. I've got a little factoid and a little bit of a story, because actually, most of you, well, I guess, will know that that is a song most associated with James Taylor. This man here, Mudslide Slim, James Taylor. But it was actually written by Carole King from her album Tapestry, and we've actually got a copy of it at home, haven't we?
We have. We've got this. And I only bought this about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, because we've decided with our Bongo adventures, we're going retro. So it's none of, putting your phone into this, that, or the other. It's I can't get an old-fashioned record player in there, but I can get CDs in, and it's going to be all old-fashioned songs.
Yeah.
So old-fashioned. I mean, when was this recorded?
1971.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I didn't realise is...
sold millions and millions, this one.
Yeah, it did. Well, both of them did, because actually both of those two albums, Mudslide Slim and Tapestry, were actually recorded at the same time in the same studio. When I say at the same time, it must have been like in the morning, evening, whatever. But the James Taylor was actually playing guitar on Carole King's album. She wrote the song. And while they were recording it, he played rhythm guitar on it, I think, and he said, "Do you mind if I use it for my album, which I'm recording like tomorrow or later on today?" She said okay, but his was the version that sold millions of copies and won a Grammy and all the rest of it. But there's a nice connection between the two, and it's a lovely song.
And you were telling me that Joni Mitchell did the...
Yeah, Joni Mitchell happened to be in the studio, and she sang backing vocals on both albums, which is amazing, really, isn't it?
It's a lovely song. It's a bit of a pain to play.
Oh,
so excuse the bum notes that popped in here and there.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, Diana says she's known snow in June, by the way.
Good God.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Thanks for all those comments, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
70s was the best decade for music. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a good decade. They were. Now then,
Shall we go over here?
Go over to this one then, shall we? Okay. Now then.
Now then what?
You go. You're talking next.
Just to say that this is our last tea at 3, but we hope to be back in the autumn, and we're going to dream up something new to do in the autumn. But we'll be in touch with you to send you a report of everything that we've done over this last year. We always do an annual report every year, because it's really good to reflect on, what's happened and what's passed, and all the people that have helped us, and for you for being there, because that's really helped us too with the chat and everything. So thank you for that. Thank you for everybody who's contributed.
And we should say a special thank you to Sarah for Sarah Sings.
Sadly, Sarah couldn't sing one for us today. She wasn't well again, so that's why she wasn't.
Yeah,
in
and also
today's
thanks
show.
to Charlotte as well, who's been posting on our Facebook page.
And everybody that sent things, everybody, been so many people, but thank you so much. We've really enjoyed doing this, and hope you've enjoyed it too.
And to all of you for joining us too. That's great. Lovely. So we're back.
Enjoy the summer and the spring, and hopefully not the snow. But we're going to leave you with this.
Okay. What are we leaving with? Oh, this one. So we spotted this many years ago, driving on a road when we lived in Oman, and that was obviously the camels were going for a walk. Well, they were being taken somewhere for a walk, weren't they? I guess.
And maybe they were on their way to the Hungate Centre, because we
Possibly.
are planning something for July, but we'll let you know about it.
If we can do, we will do.
We will.
And you'll know about it.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks again for everything.
For joining us.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.